Picture a barren patch of land. Now, envision it brimming with life, color, and beauty. This transformation is not just a dream, but an adventure that awaits you. Imagine the tender buds sprouting, reaching for the sun, the flowers unfurling in a burst of hues, and the verdant leaves rustling in the gentle breeze. Picture the joy of seeing the fruits of your labor, quite literally, in the form of ripe, juicy fruits and vegetables. This isn't a horticultural fantasy. It's a reality waiting to be shaped by your hands. Zero to Hero, your ultimate guide to starting a garden, is your roadmap to this exciting journey. We'll take you through every step, from choosing the perfect location, preparing the soil, selecting and planting your plants, to maintaining your garden. So, are you ready to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty? Today, we embark on a journey from zero to hero, building a garden from the ground up. The first crucial step in our gardening journey is selecting the right location. It's like setting the stage for a grand performance. Location is everything. It's the foundation, the canvas upon which you paint your garden masterpiece. The first thing to consider: sunlight. Plants love the sun. They bask in its warmth, they feed off its energy. Most plants need at least 6 hours of sunlight each day, so look for a spot that gets plenty of natural light. But what if your space is more shadow than sunshine? Don't worry, some plants thrive in the shade. Ferns, hostas, and hydrangeas, for instance, could be perfect for those less sunlit spots. Next on our checklist is soil quality. Rich, fertile soil is like a 5-star restaurant for plants. They dine on the nutrients, slurping up nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. You can test your soil's nutrient levels or just get a feel for it. Is it heavy clay or light and sandy? Does it hold water or does it drain quickly? The answers to these questions will guide your garden design and plant selection. Water access is another key factor. Plants need a drink just like we do. Some prefer a light sip, others a deep gulp. Ensure your garden location has easy access to a water source. This could be a nearby hose, a rain barrel, or even a simple watering can. Lastly, consider your own lifestyle and aesthetic preferences. Do you want a garden that's visible from your kitchen window? A place of beauty to gaze upon as you sip your morning coffee? Or perhaps you prefer a secluded spot, a secret garden to escape to? Remember, gardening is not just about growing plants, it's about creating a space that brings you joy, peace, and satisfaction. Whether it's a small balcony in an urban apartment or a sprawling backyard in the countryside, every space holds the potential for a beautiful garden. With the perfect location chosen, we're one step closer to the garden of our dreams. Our chosen location is just a patch of dirt for now. It's time to prepare it for planting. Now, transforming this barren space into a fertile ground is an art that requires patience and care. Let's dive into the process. First, we need to clear the ground. This involves removing any debris, rocks, and weeds. These unwanted elements can hinder the growth of our future plants by competing for nutrients and water. It's a bit like setting the stage for a performance. We want to ensure it's clear and ready. Next, soil testing. The soil pH level, which measures acidity or alkalinity, is critical to plant health. Most plants prefer a pH level between 6 and 7. If the pH is too high or too low, it can prevent plants from absorbing nutrients, even if those nutrients are abundant in the soil. Conveniently, soil testing kits are widely available and easy to use. Once we know the pH level, we can adjust accordingly using garden lime to raise pH or elemental sulfur to lower it. Remember, changes in soil pH occur gradually, so patience is key. Now the exciting part, enhancing soil fertility. Adding organic matter like compost or well-rotted manure will not only improve the soil structure but also increase its ability to retain water and nutrients. This is like adding a multivitamin to our soil, boosting its health and vitality. It's crucial to mix this organic matter well into the soil. This can be done by digging or tilling. However, be mindful not to overwork the soil as it can destroy its structure and beneficial organisms living in it. Lastly, let your prepared soil rest for a few days before planting. This allows the organic matter to integrate fully and the soil to settle and stabilize. So, there you have it. The journey from a bare patch to a fertile garden begins with these essential steps. We've laid the groundwork and our stage is set. With our soil adequately prepared, it's ready to nurture our future plants. Now that our soil is prepared, it's time to introduce our garden's future stars. In choosing plants, consider both the garden's conditions and your preferences. Let's start with understanding your garden's environment. Does it receive full sun, partial shade, or is it mostly shaded? Each plant has its own sunlight requirements, so make sure to choose ones that match your garden's light exposure. Now think about your region's climate. Is it hot and dry, cool, Or perhaps a mix of both. Some plants thrive in hot weather while others prefer cooler climates. Do some research to find out what plants grow best in your area. Also, consider the size of your garden. If you have a small space, opt for compact varieties or dwarf species. For larger gardens, you can go for taller, larger plants or even trees. Now let's move on to your preferences. Do you want a vegetable garden, a flower garden, or perhaps a mix of both? Maybe you prefer perennials, which come back year after year, or annuals, which you can change each season for a fresh look. Once you've chosen your plants, it's time to get them in the ground. Start by digging a hole, about twice the width and the same depth as the plant's root ball. Place the plant in the hole, making sure the top of the root ball is level with the ground. Backfill the hole with soil, firm it gently around the base of the plant, and give it a good watering. Remember, plants are living things, and they need care and attention. Water them regularly, especially in the first few weeks after planting. Keep an eye out for pests and diseases and take action at the first sign of trouble. And there you have it. You've taken a bare patch of soil and turned it into a potential garden paradise. The journey has just begun, and the real magic happens as you watch your garden grow and evolve over time. With our plants in the ground, our garden is starting to take shape. Planting is just the beginning. The real work in gardening lies in maintenance. To ensure your garden remains a vibrant sanctuary of growth and beauty, a few key practices need to become a part of your routine. Watering, for instance, is a fundamental part of gardening, but it's more nuanced than you might think. Plants are like people. Each has its own unique needs. Some plants thrive in moist soil while others prefer it a bit drier. The key is to learn about your plants and their specific watering needs. Remember, overwatering can be just as harmful as underwatering. Weeding is another crucial task in garden maintenance. Those pesky invaders not only look unsightly but also compete with your plants for nutrients and water. Regularly removing weeds will ensure your plants have the resources they need to grow strong and healthy. Mulching is a gardener's secret weapon. By adding a layer of organic material to your garden beds, you can help retain soil moisture, regulate soil temperature, and suppress weed growth. And as the mulch breaks down, it adds rich nutrients back into the soil. It's a win-win for your garden. Pest control is another aspect of garden maintenance that requires vigilance. Pests can wreak havoc in your garden, but remember, not all bugs are bad. Learn to identify beneficial insects that can help control the pest population naturally. If you must resort to pesticides, try to choose organic and environmentally friendly options. Patience and regular care are the unsung heroes of a flourishing garden. Plants grow in their own time, and rushing them can lead to disappointment. Garden maintenance is not a chore to be rushed through, but a practice in mindfulness, an opportunity to connect with nature and appreciate its wonders. Remember, gardening is a journey, not a destination. It's about learning, experimenting, and growing along with your garden. You'll have successes and failures, but that's part of the adventure. Don't let the fear of making mistakes hold you back. With consistent care and attention, your garden will thrive and grow. So roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty, and let's keep that garden flourishing. Starting a garden is an adventure, one that transforms not just land, but the gardener too. It's a journey that begins with envisioning the garden of your dreams. The first step is choosing the perfect location, a spot that will provide your plants with the right mix of sun and shade. Then comes the all-important task of preparing the soil, ensuring it's rich and fertile and ready to support life. Next, you'll choose and plant your plants, carefully selecting those that will thrive in your garden's unique conditions. And finally, the ongoing task of maintaining your garden, regularly watering, weeding and pruning to keep your plants healthy and vibrant. From choosing the right location to the regular care and maintenance, every step is a chapter in your gardening story. And remember, the joy of gardening lies not just in the destination, but in the journey itself.